everyone, I am Kim Dae-soo of Icon Marketing Lab. In this lecture, I will be talking about how Korean APCs are being operated, focusing on the procurement and commercialization of agricultural products and payment systems. I already gave a lecture on the establishment of APCs last year, so I believe that you understand the importance of APCs in the commercialization process of agricultural products. This lecture will be divided into two parts. I will first discuss human resources required to ensure stable procurement of products with the goals of enhancing the functions of APCs as production infrastructure that can improve the overall conditions of commercialized farm products and of boosting the operations of APCs. These are required since an immense budget has been put into APCs. I will explain the context of the organization of farms. Next, I will touch upon raw materials procurement system that can increase the farm prices and ensure more stable supply from producer organizations to APCs. Let me first address how producers should be organized. Farmers who produce agricultural products should be organized to operate APCs efficiently. The stable procurement of raw materials that can be sorted, graded, packaged, and commercialized is essential to operate APCs in an efficient manner. It is necessary to foster and manage farms as an organization that can supply products to APCs. Producers are organized through that process. How producers are organized and managed determines the success or failure of procurement. The goal of organizing producers is to secure raw materials of a consistent and high quality. It requires some tact to standardize the whole process from the distribution of seedlings, training of farming methods, harvesting, and storing in consideration of the characteristics of each region. It is better to establish goal-oriented organizations of producers at a regional level by utilizing the existing shipment organizations and integrate them. It is because it takes a quite long time to explain why such an organization is necessary and to persuade and educate farmers to form new organizations. You should develop detailed shipment plans and introduce cooperative grading shipment and pooling to improve the efficiency of procurement while achieving the economy of scale. It is of course necessary to educate and consult the farmers on the need to introduce the cooperative grading and pooling systems, taking into account the characteristics of the respective product or region. You also have to break away from the conventional ways of shipping individually or shipping to wholesalers through producer organizations. The management capacity of APCs should be maximized by improving the product planning capability and enhancing the brand power. APCs should be operated on a membership basis. To do so, raw materials should be secured primarily from member shipment organizations that will supply exclusively to APCs. It is recommended to offer various incentives, favorable contract terms, stable retail prices, and the like to those who are more loyal to APCs than others. Among the existing shipment organizations to have them on board as members of APCs. Shipment organizations or cooperative units that are not loyal enough are more likely to choose not to supply their products to APCs depending on the supply and demand situations, prices, or offers from distributors. To secure such exclusive shipment organizations, you should attract the existing organizations and form new ones to build a stable foundation for supply with the ultimate goal of maximizing the integrity of farmers' organizations. You need to understand not only the status of production and shipment of the product concerned, but also how producers are organized. It is appropriate to have 20 farmers in a fruit producer organization, 3 to 40 in the case of vegetable producer organization. The recommended number of farmers in a producer organization may vary depending on the production volume. Continuous purchase, education, extension, and persuasion are necessary to attract the existing shipment organizations as members of APCs. Shipment targets should be specified in your business plan. A shipment volume that is 10 to 30% higher than that of the previous year will be an appropriate target. The business plan should address the organization of farms, prior agreement on shipment decisions, maintenance of the standard production management system, APC shipment plans, and more. The existing producer organizations can be categorized based on their nature of formation, structure, and activities. Producer organizations can be divided into spontaneous cooperative units and artificial shipment organizations depending on who they are established. Based on their structure, producer organizations can also be categorized into village-based cooperative units and shipment organizations run by each local NACF, age-based cooperative units, and shipment organizations of farms that share specific farming techniques. They can be distinguished into friendly organizations and business-oriented membership organizations depending on what their primary activities are. These are not the absolute criteria for the categorization of producer organizations. Yet, these criteria can help you understand which type of organization will be suitable or necessary for APCs and the need for having shipment organizations that exclusively supply to APCs. To recap, exclusive shipment organizations are artificial organizations that seek economic gains. Most of these organizations are led by local NACF. They share farming techniques for certain crops and make joint efforts to improve their farming skills. Membership cooperative shipment organizations are a core part of APC and represent each product. They are systematized based on their contract with the APC. Strict contractual obligations are imposed upon these member organizations and certain requirements must be met to join the membership. Under the leadership of APCs, crop varieties can be standardized to ensure consistency of quality. Sowing and harvesting timelines can be coordinated and adjusted among the members to address the issue of excessive shipment caused by temporary overproduction. Farming techniques can be shared to level up the skills of the members. Unlike the old system in which payment was farm-specific, paying different amounts of money for different grades of product of each producer, APCs use a pooling system, cooperative payment that is grade-specific, paying a set amount of money for each grade of products with no regard to who produced them. This contributes to enhancing the commercialization capacity. Members of cooperative shipment organization must abide by its rules. Any violation of the rules will result in a strong action such as expulsion. Of course, members themselves will define and agree on the rules. To ensure that the membership cooperative shipment organization will function properly and be scaled up, the old management system for cooperative units should be restructured in a way that can establish an integrated and consistent procurement system. Those I mentioned earlier are important in that regard. Let's compare membership cooperative shipment organization with cooperative unit, which is most common type of conventional producer organization. Cooperative unit has a longer history than cooperative shipment organization in general. A cooperative unit that has grown bigger often become a cooperative shipment organization. Cooperative units usually ship products to wholesale markets, which is traditional distribution channel. But membership cooperative shipment organizations look for new markets such as distribution centers, department stores, and group catering. A cooperative unit is normally small, having around 25 farmers from the village as its members. On the other hand, a membership cooperative shipment organization is bigger, associated with the local NACF or an APC, and has at least 50 farmers as members. so it has a better bargaining power and commercialization capacity. Most cooperative units do not have any eligibility requirements, but cooperative shipment organizations only accept farms that satisfy the requirements. As cooperative shipment organizations seek economic gains, their members must have sufficient size and technical competency. If not, it would be difficult for them to adopt the pooling system. Therefore, cooperative shipment organizations control their quality more thoroughly and rigorously than cooperative units. In cooperative units, all members engage in grading and other activities, but cooperative shipment organizations have personnel dedicated to those tasks. Cooperative shipment organizations try to control quality in a more objective and fair manner compared to cooperative units. Compared to cooperative shipment organizations, it is less likely that cooperative units will reinspect products that have been graded by individual farms, and their action on quality failure are also relatively weaker. The biggest difference between cooperative units and cooperative shipment organizations is how they calculate and make payments for cooperative sales. Some advanced cooperative units pay per grade, but this is not mandatory or common. Meanwhile, payment per grade is the primary mode of settlement when it comes to a cooperative shipment organization. Cooperative units are more focused on distribution because they operate production facilities and sell products to distributors. However, cooperative shipment organizations are devoted to production activities with the ultimate goal of quality upgrading. Members-only cooperative shipment organizations are different from the conventional producer associations, whose objective is to simply sell products, in that they are more market-oriented and consider sales from the production phase. So the systematization, advancement of production techniques, scaling up production, and voluntary participation of members should be prioritized of cooperative shipment organizations. A cooperative shipment organization should enter into a contract with APC and agree that it will supply its product exclusively to the APC as a qualified member of the APC. Such relationship serves as the foundation for the APC to procure raw materials in a stable manner. In other words, relations between cooperative shipment organizations and APCs are the foundation for developing reliable marketing plans and bargaining with buyers. It is mandatory for APC members to consign the sales of the products to their APC. They don't negotiate prices with the APC but ship the whole of their products to the APC. Then the APC will sell the products on behalf of the organizations and make payment to the member organizations. It is principle for cooperative shipment organizations to standardize the crop varieties they will grow, to purchase farming supplies together, and to receive joint payment for their products. An APC can have one or more member organizations per product and operate cooperative shipment organizations for each product it can sell in order to expand its operation. But it is more common for APCs to select primary and secondary products in consideration of the types of grading machines they have and the capacity of their cold rooms. Having multiple items supplied by multiple shipment organizations may be disadvantageous to the APC operation. It is also not desirable to have multiple cooperative shipment organizations supplying a single item. The size and capacity of each APC should be considered. Unlike cooperative units, these shipment organizations seek scaling up, and thus the focus must be on improving the cultivation area and skills of their members rather than increasing the number of members. Therefore, cooperative shipment organizations should only accept farms that meet certain requirements such as cultivation area and farming techniques as members. The nurturing of cooperative shipment organizations is a must to stimulate the operation of APCs. It is thus necessary to provide various supports and wider training opportunities to foster them. Contractual relations alone will not be enough to maintain the tie between producers and APCs. Human relations and trust, which are recognized by the community, should be maintained. For that, strategies should be developed to enhance their mutual understanding, trust, and bond by paying attention to the producers and training and educating them while also making sure that their products will be sold well. You can also identify organizations and leading farms who have closer relations with producers and utilize them to facilitate training and raise awareness on the importance of standardizing farming methods and quality control. You should promote the fact that forming members-only cooperative shipment organizations and using APCs will benefit farms. You should also let the farmers recognize that they can enjoy greater convenience and financial stability by shipping their products to APCs. It is mandatory for member farms to receive certain hour periods of training in some organizations. The solidarity of producer organizations should be enhanced to foster cooperative shipment organizations. APCs should facilitate technique and information sharing among their member farms to upgrade the overall cultivation technique while enhancing their solidarity. For farming communities that want to introduce specialized techniques, you can provide support such as experts' advice, consulting, and introduction to new techniques, while also helping them to expand their production base. It is also necessary to select thriving farms that meet certain requirements and offer them incentives such as opportunities to attend domestic overseas training and visit where their products are being consumed in order to motivate the farmers to grow products of high quality. Member farms should be incentivized based on their level of participation. Training should take place on a regular basis to enhance the technical capacity and entrepreneurship of farms and promote positive interaction among them. Agricultural product fair for each variety should be held regularly to keep the quality of member farmers in check. Winning farms can be rewarded to encourage the members to improve their farming skills. Strong leadership is required because these are farm organizations established to pursue joint economic gains. Powerful leaders are passionate and competent sales representatives are behind successful shipment organizations or direct distributors. It is inappropriate for an APC to directly control or supervise its shipment organizations since they are organized by farmers themselves. Their rules are also not relevant to APC. So any issues should be dealt by the leadership of the representative farm, the leader of each shipment organization. Leaders of these organizations should be flexible enough to accept changes in the distribution environment, restructure their organization, and motivate and persuade their member farms to achieve their target quality. APCs can adopt different systems for the procurement of raw materials, purchasing on commission, pre-purchasing, contract farming, pooling. To maximize the operation of APC and to efficiently operate facilities and equipment such as grading machine, a procurement system based on contract farming should be established because this system can ensure consistency of quality as well as stable and scheduled sourcing of raw materials. It is recommended that APCs do not stick to any single procurement system. APCs should use multiple raw materials procurement methods at the same time to respond to changing market environment efficiently. The different procurement systems have different characteristics, strengths, and weaknesses, so it is best to use all the methods available as necessary depending on the conditions of production, distribution, and sales. When it comes to core products, it is ideal to procure products through pooling and contract farming, having membership shipment organizations at the center. It is recommended to use the purchasing on commission system as a general approach to ensure bulk supplies of raw materials and to save costs, while using pre-purchasing for urgent demands and for implementing certain sales strategies. Now let's find out about who has the ownership, shipment rights, depending on how the APC procures raw materials. We'll look at how APCs procure raw materials through purchasing on commission, cooperative grading, pooling, pre-purchasing, or contract farming. In this slide, the producer has the shipment and grading rights as well as the ownership for its products in the purchasing on commission system. There is no shipment agreement either. In cooperative grading payment, the producer should sign a shipment agreement with the APC, but the ownership for raw materials should still belong to the producer. On the other hand, in pre-purchasing, the producer sells its products to the APC and that completes the transaction between the two parties. In contract farming, the producer grows products but the APC has the ownership for those products from the early stage of production. Cooperative harvesting or direct farming by APCs can also be considered. In cooperative harvesting, the farmer grows crops and the APC uses its own resources to harvest them. Direct farming is a system where the APC directly owns farms to produce crops it needs. Korea is moving towards cooperative harvesting and direct farming to ensure higher efficiency and convenience of procurement and to address the shortage of human resources. I believe that it will also be necessary for Cambodia to establish a production system by organizing individual farms and to build production farms at a national level. Cambodia should consider operating facilities such as APC to better commercialize its agricultural products. Purchasing on commission is a system that allows the APC to receive products from the producer and sell them on behalf of the producer. This is one of the conventional sales practices that producers are most familiar with. Purchasing on commission should be expanded to increase the operation of APCs, but this system has limitations in terms of quality inspection and control. As APCs sell production on commission for producers, it is difficult for APCs to intervene in their production processes. So purchasing on commission should be avoided if the APC's core brand will be used or if the products will be sold directly to large distributors under the APC's name. It is recommended that products purchased on commission be primarily supplied to wholesale markets. In purchasing on commission, certain sales fees are charged and kept by the APC, so the APC does not suffer any loss. However, the profitability is lower compared to other methods. Stable procurement of raw materials cannot be guaranteed and the market demands for branding or higher quality cannot be satisfied if prices fluctuate or extreme weather events or pest outbreak occur, which will eventually prevent the farm prices from going up. I will move on to pre-purchasing. Pre-purchasing is a system in which the APC calculates and defines certain products to be purchased, and purchasing periods are necessary to deal with situations where it cannot procure the quantity of products agreed with its buyers to meet urgent demands or to protect producers. Purchasing on commission has its limitations in the quality of products that can be sourced, so it is necessary to procure a certain volume of products through pre-purchasing to strike a balance between different procurement systems and to disperse risk. However, excessive pre-purchasing may bring a significant risk to the APC operation. Crop yields, prices, and consumption trends should be analyzed. A systematic approach is also required to facilitate effective pre-purchasing. Let's compare purchasing on commission and pre-purchasing. One of the benefits of purchasing on commission is that less organized farms can also supply their products to APCs. Both farmers and APCs can participate in support programs run by the government. APC can operate extension programs for farmers, and APC can receive commissions after selling the products grown by the farmers. APCs thus bear less risk of loss. Depending on their capacity, farms can increase their revenue. APCs can not only receive commissions but also share costs with the farms. Then what are the drawbacks of the system? When the price goes up, farms will find another place to ship their crops. When the price goes down, farms will try to ship as much as possible to APCs. This makes it difficult for APCs to maintain stable relations with farms, which eventually will make it difficult for them to supply products to their buyers in a stable manner. There are other shortcomings too. APCs only receive certain amounts of commission, so their profitability is low. The stable procurement of products becomes difficult when extreme weather events or pest outbreaks take place. Then what are the benefits of pre-purchasing? The stable procurement and shipment to buyers can be guaranteed since APCs will purchase what they need directly from the farms or have contracts to place to get what they need even when the market price fluctuates. That is, APCs can have more autonomy in marketing and improve their know-how and expertise in sales, which will subsequently increase their profitability. But pre-purchasing has its limitations. The relations between farmers and APCs remain unilateral, so their solidarity is limited. Furthermore, the limited funding capacity creates challenges in the stable and large-scale procurement. APCs should bear much higher risk due to price changes compared to purchasing on commission. I will explain about the concept of contract farming and its conditions. Contract farming is carried out on the basis of a verbal or written agreement between the producer and the distributor on the price, quantity, and delivery timeline. Such an agreement should be legally binding, and both parties are bound by the agreement to reduce uncertainties and risks. By choosing contract farming, APCs can procure products of certain quality in a stable manner and make their own decisions on commercialization, branding, pricing, and the like. Contract farming also requires some tact. Provisions on compensation, risk balancing, and mutual obligations should be specified for both parties in the agreement for fairness. That is, the agreement should clearly define the contracting parties, the products to be supplied, and their quality. The responsibilities of the producer and the APC in production and marketing activities, any timing and methods of delivery or collection should also be specified in the agreement. The effects of any changes in the quantity, quality, or method of delivery should be defined clearly along with the method and timing of payment. Specific prices or a formula to determine the prices should be provided. Whether the agreement will be renewed, terminated, and how the contract will be continued should be stipulated as well. What are the benefits of contract farming? Contract farming reduces farmers' risk in terms of price and market situations. Most of these contracts reduce the price risk of producers compared to more traditional arrangements, so their income will be stabilized in the long run. As the risk associated with the transaction process goes down, producers can earn more stable income. The agreement guarantees that the contracted quantity of products will be sold at a certain point in time. That allows producers to avoid any risk associated with unpredictable price increases that may occur when they ship their products. At the same time, APCs can avoid procurement difficulties and undersupply that may be caused by fluctuating yield, seasonal factors, and the cyclic characteristics of this industry. The shipment of agricultural products can be planned and scheduled to reduce uncertainties in supply. Furthermore, APCs can stabilize their sales by securing products of certain quality that their customers prefer. Contract farming has a number of pricing arrangements: fixed pricing, formula pricing, cost-plus pricing. Fixed pricing and formula pricing are widely used in the distribution of agricultural products. Fixed pricing is commonly used in lump sum purchasing. It is because the risk associated with fixed pricing increases along with the contract duration. The shorter the contract period, the safer. Both the APC and the producer want to mitigate the risk arising from fixed pricing, so there is a possibility that disputes the contract violations will take place when the price soars. Formula pricing is used when multiple producers are signing a large-scale forward contract with a wholesaler and when pricing is critical. Formula pricing is useful when there are sufficient numbers of buyers and sellers to determine prices efficiently, meaning that when there is a price-determining market. However, formula pricing does not provide a tool to avoid the price risk, as formula-based prices tend to change depending on the supply and demand situation of the market. One of the cons of formula pricing is that price reassessment of price adjustments frequently takes place because it is difficult to predict how the price will change during the contract period. Cost plus pricing is commonly used in contract livestock farming. This pricing method uses equations to determine the minimum price levels based on the production cost. There is a possibility that the appropriateness of production cost may become controversial. By including account rules in the contract, gains and losses can be shared when the market price drops below the minimum contract price. Producer organizations and cooperative shipment organizations are all based on cooperative grading and pooling. They are a more advanced form of the purchasing and operational systems that I mentioned earlier. The pooling system allows APCs to collect products from individual farms and grade, commercialize, and sell them for a certain period. The cost and sales proceeds will be averaged out based on the quantity of products sold per grade and be paid to the farmers. The difference in quality among farms should be recognized and the products shipped by farmers should be distinguished and managed by grade. Pooling is used to distribute the sales proceeds generated within a certain period regardless of price differences caused by different shipment timings or shipment decisions, by integrating their sales channels through the cooperative marketing. Pooling makes it easier to sell agricultural products. The system allows farms to supply a certain volume of products that meet the APC's quality requirements. It can also reduce the distribution costs and improve the logistics efficiency. Standardized package shipment enables bulk sourcing as well. The risk and labor requirements for producers are relatively lower, so they can concentrate on farming. Risk related to different shipping dates and markets can be reduced and strategic shipment can be facilitated. The APC and producer can have a stronger bond. That is why pooling is used. Small individual farms grow a wide variety of crops in Korea, so the organizations of farms and the pooling system can help the farms achieve the economy of scale. A certain number of full-time farmers and decisive and giving leaders are required to adopt the pooling system. All participating farmers should understand why such a system is needed and voluntarily participate in the system. Producers, shipment organizations, and the APC should have a strong mutual trust. The APC should be passionate enough about its economic business. Member farms should be able to enjoy the practical benefits of pooling continuously for the pooling system to be sustainable. An appropriate level of revenue and incentives should be offered to the APC in the personnel of charge of pooling. Producers participating in the system and the APC should get together frequently to strengthen their ties. The trust between the producers and the APC should be maintained by enhancing transparency. The two basic strategies of pooling are to stimulate the operation of producer organizations and to develop measures for improving marketability. Farms should be educated on the need for pooling to boost the operation of producer organizations. Farms should visit successful APCs to learn and analyze their success factors. It is also crucial to compare and analyze the pros and cons of the pooling system of different APCs to reach an agreement on the type of pooling system that best suits each organization. The development of measures for reducing the transportation and logistics costs, the establishment of objective and transparent calculation and payment methods, and training are also essential. The development of measures for higher marketability will also benefit the APC operation. Exclusive shipment organizations are a must for an APC to succeed. In addition to that, Wholesale retail distributors who will be buying the product should also be studied. The market environment and consumers' need should be analyzed. The economic feasibility of introducing new varieties should be reviewed. The feasibility of operating a pre-cooling system and cold rooms should be analyzed. Direction of brand publicity should be reviewed as well. Let me walk you through how pooling takes place. There is no specific standards, but the pooling process can be divided into preparation and implementation stages. The preparation stage is focused on fostering shipment organizations that will participate in the pooling system. Various meetings, training sessions, and tours should take place to raise farmers' understanding of the system, to create a positive atmosphere, and to motivate them by offering incentives. Then the products to be pooled and farms to participate in the system should be secured. The geographical conditions, farming situations, main crops, soil, and climate of the region should be considered. The capacity for quality control, the possibility for the standardization of crops and farming methods, types of products that can be managed after cooperative harvesting, farming skills, the presence of competent leaders in the shipment organizations should also be reviewed. Next, the benefits and need of pooling should be understood and the pooling process and methods should be educated. A plan should be developed and applied to carry out the pooling system in the implementation stage. Pooling goes into action in this stage. First, farming. Grading and commercialization will become easier when the homogeneity of farm products is maintained based on standardized varieties and farming techniques. The APC should be actively involved from the production phase by utilizing production guidelines per crop and by facilitating the joint purchase of seeds and farming supplies. The first and foremost task is to cultivate high-quality farm products. The likelihood of success will go up if the quality can be differentiated from the production phase. You should consider developing differentiated farming methods that can have long-term effects. Second, harvesting and procurement. A plan for each producer should be developed to harvest crops and have them received by the APC according to the APC's shipment schedule. Storable products should be kept at the farm or APC and be shipped according to the APC's shipment plan. Products that cannot be stored should be harvested at the night before or the morning of the day of delivery and pre-cooled to maintain their quality as much as possible. The principle is that farms themselves should transport their products to the site of cooperative grading, but producers can be collected by the APC depending on the situation. Cooperative shipment organizations who are members of APC and who chase pooling should ship all of their products to the APC as per their shipment agreement. Third, packaging and grading standards should be defined. The grading standards should be determined in consideration of the market demands and production conditions based on the standards of agricultural products released by the National Agricultural Products Quality Management Service. The shape, color, and gloss, bruising, pest damage, injury, and more should be taken into account to sort out any out-of-grade products that do not meet the quality standards. The standards should be able to ensure that the difference of quality will be reflected in the price and the benefit of grading will exceed its cost. Fourth, cooperative grading. Products should be sorted and graded objectively and fairly according to the grading standards. The APC should be responsible for sorting grading. Producers and anyone related to production should be excluded from the sorting grading process. The quality manager should be responsible for grading. Products that have been sorted by individual farms should also be graded again by the quality manager according to the defined standards. If a pre-shipment inspection or re-inspection was carried out, it will be deemed that the products have gone through cooperative grading. Once the grading process is completed, a grading report per grade should be issued to the supplier. Dispute Settlement Committee should be established and the supplier should be informed to how disputes will be settled in an objective manner. Fifth, sales. APC should do their best to sell the pooled products at a better price. There are 3 don'ts for producers to keep when selling their products. The 3 don'ts are: don't intervene in the decision of buyers, don't intervene in the decision of prices, and don't intervene in the decision of sale timeline. The APC should have the full authority over sales. The pooling system will fail if producers break these rules and intervene in any part of the sales process. 6th, payment meaning pooling. There are various payment methods. The most common approach is to pay per grade. This means that products will be distinguished and managed based on predefined grading standards regardless of who produced them. The average unit price per grade will be calculated after selling the products. Cost will be calculated by looking at the average unit cost per grade or by multiplying the total quantity of products sold by the average unit cost. The average unit price should be multiplied by the quantity of products shipped by each producer. The payment cycle should be discussed sufficiently and determined in advance considering the crop characteristics and farming methods. If the cycle is short, the farms will be paid quicker but will have a higher risk of price change depending on when they ship their products. If the cycle is long, the risk of price change will be reduced, but the farms will be paid at a relatively later date. In general, the payment cycle for products that have a high profitability and a low storability is short. Products that can be stored longer or year-round products have a longer payment cycle. 7th, sales disclosure. After the payment, the financial reporting should take place to disclose the overall revenues and expenditures. Any improvement in the farm prices, which is attributable to the pooling system, should be analyzed and shared with the participating farms. 8th, claim handling. Claims can be raised by either party to its counterpart to file grievances, to request corrections, or to ask for compensation. Claims will be handled differently depending on who raised them. Claims can be divided into those raised by the APC to the producer and those raised by the producer to the APC. I will not elaborate on this topic further. It will be a better topic for other sessions on consumer relation or marketing. 9th, setting new plans and objectives. Issues observed in the pooling process should be discussed and incorporated into the next year's plan. Uncooperative producers should be expelled and new members should be invited to reinforce the organization and set new objectives. This slide shows some basic equations that can be used to calculate the payment for producers. This equation simply uses the average unit price per grade and the quantity of products shipped from each farm. The sales proceeds per producer is calculated by multiplying the average unit price per grade by the quantity of products sold per grade. The marketing commission for the APC, transportation cost, market commission, packaging cost, and grading cost, all of which correspond to the cost per producer, as well as the joint reserve of exclusion shipment organizations, will be deducted from before being paid to the producer. This slide summarizes what I explained earlier about how APCs can procure and commercialize raw materials. So these are the things to be considered throughout the whole process of growing, harvesting, procuring, grading, packaging, and selling products and paying the farms for the products sold. This table will help you understand what I tried to explain. Today I explained about how APCs can procure high-quality raw materials, which is a basic requirement for their proper operation. I also discussed how agricultural products should be commercialized, marketed, and paid more. If a single farmer can grow all kinds of crops we need in mass quantities, sell those products on his or her own, and has sufficient bargaining power to deal with distributors, the systems I mentioned during this lecture might not be necessary. However, if the agricultural sector of Cambodia is relatively weaker and lags behind other industries, just like Korea, then it will be worth considering the introduction of APC as an agricultural infrastructure. Thank you.